All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Austin Ekeler. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep, J.J. Nelson. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to get this one back, it looks like. So nearly like-for-like fumbles, but they hang on to this thing and keep it a turnover. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Check three. He's crashing. He's checking.
Throwing on second down. Mahomes forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And that's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. But it's brought in by Washington. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. Well, he had his eyes on 200 yards last week, earned him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and he was really, really good. Fun to watch back in tape with you.
It was fun to watch, wasn't it? And he's trying to have the same type of a game in this one. But what was fun watching was how he read the defense. No matter what they presented, he had an answer for it, and that's why he was open during that game.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Mahomes now to throw. Looking downfield for Joe. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
They're running it.
Play action. It's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. That'll bring up second down.
Let's get off the field.
Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Joker, 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 Joker. Hey, Ridley.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Watch QB drop. 95, Mike. Watch 95. You ain't got it.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Caught by Nelson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now he's going to, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Now Mahomes. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now
and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's Sanders. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 45 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently. The truth.
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Now here's Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, here's Eckler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In his own end zone, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He completes it to Nelson. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
36, 15. Delta. Check back 40. Here we go. Let's get it. Let's go.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. Washington's got it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. From the 38, Mahomes. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Here we go. Hey, 43, 15.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Mahomes now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
57, color, 57.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's taken down inside the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Sanders. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Right back to Sanders on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Steelers on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd down and 12. On the draw, here's Sanders. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that's going to open the lead up now to 3 scores at 18-0. So with that, you figure, this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run here with Eckler. He'll have a first down past the 40. The 30. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Austin Eckler hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens cut into that lead. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. Now Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll get this to Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down mark.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And this is going to be recovered by the hand team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
40's Mike right there. 40's Mike.
Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. This just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
I don't need to. All lady. Watch the curl. Bullshit. Yellow.
Now Mahomes. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.